Good afternoon and welcome to Countdown to Daytona. We are back, leading up to the Great American Race here on Truck Day, Kevin.
That's right.
It's Truck Day, one of my favorites here at Speed Weeks.
That's right, and that's one of the great things about the Daytona International Speedway. It is not just one race, but you have multiple races. We had the dual qualifying races last night. We've got the Truck Series tonight, and then we have the Xfinity Series race tomorrow, followed by the Great American Race, the Daytona 500 on Sunday. So there is an action-packed weekend here at the Daytona International Speedway.
I want to bring in our special guest today because he's going to be driving tonight. You're going to see him on TV going for the opening series win. Gander RV and Outdoors Truck Series driver Ben Rhodes, number 99.
Yeah, 99.
Welcome,
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you. In a little bit, Ben, you're going to be signing autographs. They're lining up for you already. And they're just behind our cameras here. They're watching us. So there's pressure on you already, Ben.
Yeah.
But quickly, let's work backwards here because you're a fan of the sport in addition to being a competitor in the sport. Who do you like in the Daytona 500? There's a lot of variables this year.
Well, so before I was in the sport, I always pulled for Jeff Gordon growing up. I had some family ties that were close to that, and I heard stories about him when he was young trying to, make a name for himself, and I was just always attracted to that. But now that I'm in it, I race against a lot of them, so I'm pulling for yours truly, but I'll tell you that, I do have ties to Joey Logano now. His spotter is also my spotter, TJ Majors, and I've known Joey for a little bit. And so if I had to pull for anybody, he's a fellow Ford driver.
That's good.
He's with
there you go. I was just going to say that.
So, I got to pull for somebody that's, kind of close in that Ford family.
That's right. The Truck Series is action-packed, right? And there is always action in the Truck Series race at Daytona. How nerve-wracking is it for you as a driver sitting in that seat?
It is. It's just every time I come to Daytona, I get really, I wouldn't say nervous, just like anxious. I get kind of like, twitchy, because you just don't know what's going to happen. And as a driver, you are never, ever, ever comfortable inside the truck. And there's a way that we look at it too. In practice yesterday, I kind of was given the ultimatum. They said, do you want to be fast or do you want to be comfortable? And I said, I want to be fast. I said, I'm already uncomfortable, so let's just make us fast. That's whatever happens, happens. And it truly is uncomfortable in the Truck Series just because we have to be closer than the cars. Xfinity and Cup, we're always closer. We're moving around a lot more. We're very light as far as the way that we move around, and it's just a lot more movement, if you watch one of the truck races. And I wish we were more stable, but that just doesn't seem to be the nature of the Truck Series, and a lot of the people that come into the Truck Series don't have any experience either. So that makes it even worse, right? Absolutely. I mean, better for the fans, more nerve-wracking for the drivers.
Speaking of inexperience, I don't want to call these guys inexperienced, but the number of rookies on the Monster Energy Series racing this weekend, some of the names, I've written them down here: Cole Custer, Tyler Reddick, John Hunter Nemechek, Quinn Huff. I mean, you know these guys from the trucks, so put yourself in their shoes, and I mean, if you were going to race Sunday too, how would you feel? How do you think they're feeling right now?
Well, I think the big thing for them is it's going to be the longest races of their career up to this point, right? They've never done anything longer than this. They're rookies. So they got to realize that and just stick around. There's going to be wrecks.
Yeah.
You don't know when it's going to happen. I'd say the single biggest goal that they should have is just to finish. Maybe forget about the stage points even. Just finish the race, because at the end they're going to be up there. They're going to be competing for wins. And that's something that every rookie has to deal with. And it's not just Truck Series, Xfinity Cup. It's every single rank that you climb the racing ladder. You have to kind of take a step back, realize, okay, I was winning. I'm not going to be winning, or at least I hope I am, but I'm probably not going to be winning here for a little bit. Let's finish the races, get the experience, build respect, and make a name for myself.
Yeah, building respect, that is so important in NASCAR racing. Thor Sports for you. That's like the Rick Hendrick Motorsports of the Truck Series. I mean, that's a big-time team that has always been very committed to the Truck Series and having success. What's it like being on a team like that?
Well, their legacy is unrivaled in the Truck Series. This is their 25th year in the Truck Series. I mean, the dedication and support that Duke and Rhonda Thorson put into this race team and to the series itself is unmatched. So I'm just a little bitty part of the legacy. This is my 5th Daytona start with them. This is my 5th year, going into my 5th year in the Truck Series. All my races have been with them, and it's just cool, right? Like, they've been around for so long, and I hear all these awesome stories from way back when. Duke used to drive the vans to the track, and he would oh yeah, he spotted. He used to spot at times too. Like, you don't hear about that. He's got so many cool stories, and now he shows up for the races, and it's a very professional team. They have a shop that is second to none up in Sandusky, Ohio, and we're the only race team in all of NASCAR that's not located in North Carolina. So there's a lot of pride with us, a lot of, you know, kind of like Northern Ohio, Kentucky, Indiana, like that whole region. We have a lot of pride from that region because of this race team.
All right, last year this race was absolutely a massacre. Sorry, I'm sorry.
No, it's a good way to put it. It
was. I don't. How many cars made it? 10?
So 9 actually.
Nine.
Nine were on the lead lap actually racing at the end.
So you wound up 14th.
You could wreck out and be in the top 10.
Yeah, exactly.
That's like
this is why the truck race is so awesome.
No, that was just like the Clash the other day. There were only 6 cars running at the end.
Exactly.
That's Daytona.
So there's a certain amount of, as you mentioned, you love running here, but there's the unknown. But you've now done this. You're one of the elder statesmen here in this series.
So let me drop some.
Lead the way here.
Let me drop some knowledge on you. I may be 22, but I've got
elder statesman at 22.
So I've got the 2nd most consecutive starts by an active driver right now.
That's amazing.
But isn't that bad? I'm 22. So no, I got that on a technicality. My teammate Johnny Sauter got suspended last year for one race. So I got it on a technicality.
Thank you
and
for that.
There's drivers older than me, but they haven't been in the series for as many consecutive starts. They may have more experience, but they haven't been, you know, consecutively there every single week.
Yeah, the Truck Series is a stepping stone. Kind of map out the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years for you.
You know, that's tough. So, you know, if I could tell anybody at age 10 where I wanted to be, I want to be the Daytona 500 champion at age 18. I turned 18 that day. I'm the new Richard Petty, blah, 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 blah. But, you know, you don't know how things are going to work. Everybody wants to be the top dog, but you just don't know. And a lot of it is out of your control. The stars have to align. The right opportunities have to open up. And, you know, I'm just waiting for whatever opportunities come my way. But I will say that I am, you know, very, very happy with where I'm at ThorSport Racing. I made an awesome career out of it so far for the 5 years that I've been here. And if I'm here for another 5, 10, 15 years, I would consider it a huge blessing. I wouldn't be mad. My teammate's been doing it for all his career. Johnny Sauter's been up in Cup. He's been running trucks for a long time. So just thankful for the opportunities, right? If there's some other opportunities that come around that I could run some Cup races, absolutely. But it has to be winning stuff.
Right.
I don't want to go. I'm not here for a parade. I'm here to win, okay? I'll leave the parading to somebody else. You know, I want to be in top caliber stuff, and I want to win races.
Right.
And if I can't do that, then that's the day that I'm going to, you know, go somewhere else.
Let's ruffle some feathers here. Louisville, Kentucky.
Oh, man.
You knew I was going to do this to you.
Oh, man.
Red or blue?
What's the most political?
Red or blue?
I got ties.
Wildcats or Cardinals?
He's got a blue hat
I'm
on.
Cardinals.
Cardinals.
My wife is a Cardinal right now. She's going to school there.
Okay.
So,
All right,
you know,
fair enough.
I got ties to both, but I'm a Cardinal. Yeah.
Okay. I had to get that out there because you are there's listen. This is North Carolina guy here. He's got Duke and NC State all over him if he talks about the Tar Heels.
He looks like a Florida guy right now. Yeah, it's so cold out, you know. I get you. But there's probably.
That's funny. That is funny.
Listen, it was 80-something degrees on the track.
You guys got to toughen up a little.
Yeah. The TV life is we're soft. We're soft. We admit it.
No, I got to get my logos out there. I'll get yelled at. So that's what this is. I'm actually cold.
The jacket's going on as soon as this is over.
That's funny. You know, Louisville was in first place in the ACC in basketball, but they just suffered an upset to Georgia Tech the other night. So Louisville and Duke are tied in ACC basketball standings right now.
There you go.
Well,
so you're getting it's almost
you can
March.
brag for now.
It's almost March. See, he knows. He's like, talk to me in March. Talk to me in March. That's when it really matters.
Right.
How was practice yesterday for you? And we did. It was a little warm, and now it's cooled down a bit. And tonight will probably be a little chilly and windy as well. So how does all that translate to your effort for your team?
So I'm going to be honest. The fans might not like the cold weather, but cold weather is a driver's best friend.
Yeah.
More downforce, more horsepower, you feel better, you're not sweating as much, you're more sharp and like mental clarity inside the truck. So I like it. I was a little disappointed in practice yesterday. We missed a small chunk of first practice. We were still in tech, and we missed one of the big, drafting packs. And everybody, I mean, year after year, you can bet money on it that everybody's going to go out right away and just draft. There's no like single truck runs. They just do it. So we missed a little bit of that. So that was a little bit disappointing to me, but we were able to get with some smaller packs and still get some good info. It was funny. I was knocking off the rust for sure. I missed pit road the first time that I came to it, but I will blame. You know what? I'm going to let the crew chief watch this. I'm going to blame some on the crew chief. We were on the splitter, and when you're on the splitter coming to pit road, you may look at a guy coming to pit road tomorrow in the race or in the 500, and you may say, wow, what a noob. Like, he missed pit road. But if he's on the splitter, you have no stopping power. You can be on the splitter, and your front tires are essentially off the ground. So they're locking up, and you can't slow down. Okay. So that's where some wrecks could happen. That's something to watch out for at these races. That's what happened last night in duel number 1.
Right.
Yeah.
No, there was no communication, but also while they're braking, if somebody's on the splitter, they can't stop. So they might be low, and that's fast, but once they try to come in for a pit stop, if they're on the splitter, they might get into a wreck.
So you're really talking about the transition from the track to the apron to pit road.
And it's not smooth.
Is where the trouble is.
It's rough, yeah, and I think you'll probably see some wrecks in the truck race today from that very same thing happening. So we did some work. We got the thing more stable. Honestly, this is the best that my number 99 Carolina Nut Ford F-150's ever felt. And this is my 5th Daytona, and I've never had a truck feel this good. I can get a huge run from way back. We call it sucking up, so I can get a huge suck from way far back. And on top of that, it's more stable than usual. Usually you have to deal with some dardiness. You'll have to deal with the rear end getting a little light on you, and it's been more comfortable than usual. It's still not comfortable. You can hold the wheel straight and you will drift from lane to lane. So it's not comfortable, but it's better than it has been. So
that's awesome.
I'm as happy as you can be.
That's great. So we know when Ben climbs out of the car tonight in Victory Lane, I'll yell, how comfortable was that?
Yeah, ask my crew chief, because likely I've been complaining about it the whole race. He'll know.
We got a bunch of fans over here, got Sharpies in their hands. They're ready for you. They're frothing, ready for you to come over there and meet them. So we want to wish you the best tonight in this great season opener for you. And I know you got a couple of wins on this series in 2017, 2018. So let's get you back into Victory Lane. Ben Rhodes, thank you very much for joining us.
Appreciate the time,
today.
Ben. Best of luck, guys.
And real quickly, we sat down with one of your competitors, a rival, if you will, John Hunter Nemechek, who is going to run Sunday in the Daytona 500. He's very excited. Let's hear what he had to say on Media Day, getting ready for the Great American Race.
What influence does your dad have, or has your dad had, on your career, and how much backseat driving does he do after races?
He doesn't do too much anymore, which is pretty good. But when I first started out, he was always trying to point things out. And for myself, as a teenager growing up underneath him, as a teenager, you don't want to listen, right? Like, I think every parent and kid kind of goes through that, but mine was a little bit different. But being able to be at the racetrack for the first time when I was 2 weeks old and kind of grow up underneath him, I always knew that I wanted to race, whether it was stock cars or dirt bikes. I didn't know. I raced all of it as a kid, and then finally decided I wanted to get back in a stock car where it's a little bit safer.
Right, so John Hunter Nemechek, I remember him, and I said this yesterday on our web show with Holly Kane. I remember him as a little boy in the garage holding his dad's sunglasses while his dad was walking around the car, and it was after a crash, and he was assessing his car, and then he just kind of shook his head, and he walked over to little John Hunter and handed him his glasses, and off they went. So now he's the big guy in the series, but he's just one of several talented rookies we're going to see Sunday in the Daytona 500.
It is probably one of the stronger rookie classes in the Cup Series the last few years. You've got Cole Custer, you've got Tyler Reddick, you've got Christopher Bell. Not only are these guys very talented, but they're in very good equipment. Yeah. Cole Custer is with Stuart Haas. Tyler Reddick is with RCR. Christopher Bell is basically with Joe Gibbs Racing, as he is with Levine Family Racing. So they're talented, and they're in good equipment, and they want to make a name for themselves. So look for one of those guys to really do something big in the Daytona 500 on Sunday.
One of the favorite things that I heard in all of our sit-downs with the drivers was Kevin Harvick, who said, yeah, it's great having all these young guys, but you know what? The old guys are still winning.
Still winning.
So there's always those unknowns, and a guy like a Kevin Harvick, and let's throw Jimmy Johnson in there, because I know he's going to want to be in the mix towards the end, towards the giving the veterans the nod here by the time the checkered flag arrives.
Yeah, without a doubt. And you've got guys like Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski, big names in this sport who have never won the Daytona 500. So those guys will certainly be aggressive on Sunday. Another guy to look out for, I think, is Aric Almirola. 2 years ago, he was in the position to win
had a chance.
The Daytona 500.
Austin Dillon gave him that nudge over the
They call it a love tap, and he is not so happy about that. But Aric Almirola was very strong in his dual qualifying race last night. He was pushing Joey Logano to the win. Aric Almirola, a Florida guy, this is his home track. So look for Aric Almirola as maybe one of the guys that can get it done on Sunday.
And he does have wins on this track, both the Monster Energy Series and also in the Xfinity Series. I'll go back to the young guys. Did you mention Ryan Preece? Because I was looking at the starting grid. I mean, these guys, they're not just in there making their debut. They actually qualify very well. Some of the bigger names, like the Joe Gibbs guys, they're down a little bit
deeper
in the field. So they're going to be mixing it up with the best guys you've mentioned here at the start.
Ryan Preece is a teammate of the pole sitter, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. So he's in good equipment. He was in the field last year in the Daytona 500. So these guys, these younger guys who are in good equipment, certainly want to make a name for themselves.
All right, well, I'll tell you what. I thought Ben Rhodes was he was fun today.
Yes, he was.
And sorry, Kentucky Wildcats fans, he loves you, but he's he's a Louisville guy, and his wife's attending classes at the University of Louisville, so good for him. Ben Rhodes is in the number 99 truck tonight. They're going to qualify here in a little bit, and they get after it tonight later in the opening race of the Gander RV Outdoors Truck Series. So we go trucks tonight, Xfinity tomorrow, Monster Energy Series on Sunday. Was it 2 years ago we had the closest finish ever in the track history? Was in the Xfinity race?
Yes,
so,
it was.
Yeah, this is 3 nights. Speed Weeks is fun for the fans, but if you're kind of looking at the sport and go, well, what should I be watching for? Tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday. These guys get after it.
And obviously the Daytona 500, the biggest event in the sport, made even bigger this year. President Trump is going to come and be the Grand Marshal to the race. So if you're coming to the race on Sunday, you better get here early, because there's going to be increased security measures.
We have been
as the president.
You know what? That's your PSA, Kevin. If you're watching us and you have tickets to the Daytona 500 on Sunday, we have been told, get here extremely early. It is going to be getting through the gate coming into the speedway, another check at the tunnels to get into the infield if you have infield access, and then of course coming in today, they have stepped up the security measures, and it's going to be even bigger on Sunday. So the Daytona 500 is going to be ready for the president, and I think the racers, the drivers are excited too. Because I believe I'm told, I don't think it's official, but I'm told he may be in the drivers meeting.
Yes.
So
I've heard that too.
That doesn't happen every day.
No,
he does not come into our sports meetings.
Yeah.
So that's kind of cool for these guys.
Yeah, without a doubt. And again, it's the Daytona 500. It is the biggest race of the season. This is a life changer. If you can win this race, all this season you're always referred to as the winner of the Daytona 500, so-and-so. So this is big.
All right, well, Kevin, this was fun today. Good one with Ben Rhodes on the Truck Series. We'll see if we give him a little karma tonight. And we want to thank you for watching this afternoon. Don't forget, we're back here tomorrow afternoon again, and we'll be also here on Sunday as well. They're lining up a cup driver for us on Sunday. Right. You never see that. Before the Super Bowl, they're not bringing Patrick Mahomes to talk to you. So we're getting treated to that special event on Sunday. So this has been great.
Yeah, it's been very enjoyable.
Countdown
Looking forward to the weekend.
Countdown to Daytona. That wraps up today's show. For Kevin Connolly, I am Dan Lucas. Have a great rest of the day, everybody.